Hey guys, Dustin here with Rune Art. Today we're going to be talking about Humpstadamas, this well-known whale that survived a lot of problems in his life and grew up to fall in love when he knew he wouldn't. But before we get to that, I want to talk to you a little bit about what the series is and what it means to me. The series that Humpstadamas comes from, I call my Nautical Neurosis series. It is a lot of weird, degenerate fish. I really was inspired by like the old shots of Ren and Stimpy, and like as a cartoon, Ren and Stimpy was one of my favorite. These are fun little fish. I wanted to draw fish with hair because I thought hair underwater, that would let me do some cool things. And in these videos, you'll see me doing the simple frame out, the sketches, the line work. Yes, I will be doing a coloring book of these pages on a Patreon at some point. I just have to figure all that out. They will be digital downloads monthly for my Patreons when I get that figured out. Getting into this, let's talk about Notre Aqua, the series in the series which this comes from. Yes, there's a few different ones. There's like a rocker series, there's a strip club series, there's the church series, which is kind of making fun of Catholics. Sorry. Y'all have a lot of stuff that we can make fun of. I don't disrespect y'all, but you've got to laugh at your own shit. Anyways, we're going to talk about Humpstadamas. He was kind of inspired by Nostradamus and Quasimodo. He's based on a humpback whale. So you'll see me getting this whale shape figured out in the sketchbook right now. It's honestly, whales are pretty simple. Like, you draw kind of a C and figure it out. Like, they have simple gesture. I like them a lot. Let's get into his story. Humpstadamas was a secretive figure, hiding from the church in public, living by the bell tower, muttering to the gargoyles. He scribbled constantly in journals to provide him with some semblance of sanity. Pope Repniufa gave him these journals in hopes that his weird prophecies he was always writing down would lead to the salvation of man. Or, rather, the betterment of the church. But when he was asked what he was writing, he always muttered, "You'll see," and stormed off. Behind his gruff exterior, Humpstadamas had a soft heart. He looked for love. He had constant predictions of the future, spelling disappointment for his own love life. Till one day he had wandered out and met an old gypsy woman, and she told him that he would die for his true love. He laughed, and knowing that only his prophecies had ever came true. But one day, a few months later, he met Betmerelda. She ran into the church and asked Father Willie for refuge from the police. And Willie granted her sanctuary, hoping that he may indulge in her gratitude. She rebuked this attempt, and she ran off, stormed to the bell tower, angry. Humpstadamas sat there, talked to her, got to know her, and she explained what had happened. Around that time, Father Willie had walked up. Humpstadamas, for the first time, had stood up to Father Willie, saying he will not lay a finger on her, and helped her escape. In this escape, her heart, which was normally locked to the public, because she was an attractive fish, and they would generally come drooling after, her heart she kept locked. It immediately broke free. One day, she showed back up to the rooftop. She wanted to show him the hidden city that lay beneath him and show her the world she lived in. On this journey, where she was starting to understand her life, he'd fallen head over heels in love with her. And he was arrested. And so was she. But because he was part of the church, they allowed him to go back to his bell tower. Him knowing that she was arrested, it set against him. And he heard news from Father Willie that she was to be boiled at the stake. Not being one to be able to let his true love die, he went and saved her, and took her place at the stake. Without a thought, he gave his own life for hers, leaving her his books, which allowed her to become the best sci-fish in Notre Aqua. She was able to develop respect and grow this world. He told people what they shouldn't be doing, what they should be doing, and people respected it because they were his prophecies that always came true. But that's a story for another day. Thank you for hearing about Humpstadamas, the lonely humpback whale of Notre Aqua who died for the woman he loved. Now, thank you for listening to me, and I do appreciate this. If you are interested in the Humpstadamas thing, or if you want to have any input on what Bette Morelda's story should be either before or after she met Humpstadamas, please leave a comment in the video. If you would like to subscribe, follow all the YouTube things, do that. I really appreciate that. And here's the final sexy shot.